Hey guys!
Hey guys!
We're back with another Arrow review, this time reviewing Arrow Season 4, Episode 5, titled Haunted. If you haven't seen the episode yet and you want to avoid any spoilers, you're going to want to skip this video and come back later, because everything we say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler. Okay, this was a really good episode of Arrow, not just because Constantine, made his cameo for the season.
Although that did help.
It did really help. There was a lot of other really interesting things. But that said, there were a couple of other inconsistencies that I feel did kind of take away from the episode. First, the inconsistencies, because there are not very many of them, and they'll be really quick to get out of the way. Okay, so how did Sarah get into Thea's hospital room without Laurel seeing her? Because the direction she's approaching from, it's from the door, and Laurel's standing right next to it.
Yeah, she's like right outside the door, basically leaning on the door frame.
So my initial thought was, oh my god, did Laurel let her in? Totally, but then I thought, no, she couldn't have. That's just totally out of character for Laurel.
Yeah.
But the thought did enter my mind because it just didn't really make sense about how Sarah got in there.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, Oliver's campaign manager mentions a couple of times that, whether you win or lose, I still get paid. But isn't Oliver running unopposed?
Yeah, isn't everybody else afraid to run because they're being killed?
Yeah, every mayor or person who's running for mayor has been killed, so nobody wanted to run, and that's why Oliver decided to run.
And that's why it's been mayorless for so long.
Yeah. So who is he supposed to lose to?
He keeps talking. I mean, I understand it's what a normal campaign person would do. You got to distance yourself from the people that are going to create scandal, and it's who cares? I mean, if nobody shows up to vote, he's still the only candidate. He wins by default.
Are we misremembering somebody? Did someone else declare their candidacy and we forgot about it, or we missed it altogether? Because sometimes, we're looking down taking notes, and we missed, little minute details sometimes.
Yeah.
So if we did miss something, let us know in the comments. But as far as I remember, Oliver is completely unopposed in this race.
Why Oliver was running, because everybody else was too scared to.
Yeah.
So,
and he thought, I can defend myself. I can run for mayor because I can protect myself and nobody else will be in danger. Okay, but those were our only two problems with this episode. The rest of it was awesome.
Yes. John Constantine was in this episode, and it was pretty awesome. I like that it was he was in the flashback, so him and Ollie know each other, and it establishes that while they work the story up to where they need him, and then he's in the story where they need him to get Sarah's soul.
It was really executed perfectly, because they could have, just a throwaway line of dialogue. Oh, I got a buddy, that I can call, and then
they very easily could have just called him, and he could have come at the end.
But the fact that they introduced him in the flashbacks, and so this is how they met, and they gave that little bit of backstory, that worked to perfection.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if he might not make another cameo at some point, because in the flashback he mentions you're on this island for a reason. Like a mystical reason. People don't just come to this island. You're here for a reason. And I have to imagine that's going to come back to play, whether in flashbacks or current or something. So I kind of hope so, because it was great.
And also, Constantine gives Oliver a warning about Damien Darhk. He says, what you fought in the Netherrealm, that is a gnat compared to Damien Darhk. So maybe John's going to have to come back and help with the final confrontation with Damien Darhk.
That's actually how I thought, because we knew Constantine was going to have a cameo this season, and that's how I thought they were going to do it. I was like, oh, well, maybe he has to come and help them fight Damien Darhk.
If he's coming back and making another appearance in this season, they're really keeping it under wraps, because so far they only announced this one episode, and as far as we know, this is it. But they did just finish filming the Arrow Flash crossover, so they're not done filming the season yet.
Yeah.
So there is totally time for him to come back for another appearance, and maybe they're just really keeping it under wraps.
Maybe. I hope so, because he worked really well with the cast.
Absolutely, yeah. And it seems like Thea has a little bit of a crush on him, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe she was just, making a little dig at Oliver.
She might have been, yeah.
Just kind of teasing him a little bit.
Because basically anytime Oliver has an old friend, it's some hot chick. Which they had
Felicity
point out, yeah. So maybe she was just making a little dig at him because most of his friends are hot chicks.
And it seems like even Constantine knows that
Yeah.
because he's teasing Oliver. He's like, man, if I had known you were surrounded by so many pretty girls, I'd have stopped by to visit sooner.
Yeah.
And that's where that whole Felicity comment came
Yeah.
into. And it seems like everybody is aware that Oliver is friends or related to many beautiful women.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite scene in the episode was the first Sarah-Thea fight scene when it's in Thea's apartment. Just the choreography in that scene was absolutely awesome.
Like, it totally looked like they were fighting.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of fight scenes, it looks like they're fighting, but if you really look, you can kind of see that they're not, that it's choreographed. This looked like they were fighting. Like, it looked like she was tossing Thea around.
And what I really enjoyed about the fight is Sarah's fighting style before she died. It was very elegant and structured, and you can tell she was, trained to fight a certain way. But this Sarah is just savage. She's clawing, she's throwing, she's growling and snarling. There is no structure to the way she fights. It's just savage.
Yeah, it's not training, it's instinct.
Yeah.
Like a predator going after prey. It's just what's inside. It's primal.
Mm-hmm. And finally, we do find out in this episode that Ray is alive, which we knew.
Told ya. Yeah,
Ray's
it was kind of obvious.
And apparently he's being held by Damien Dark.
Yes, which we did not see. I just assumed he shrunk himself so little that nobody could find him.
Yeah, and he was stuck that way. That's kind of what I thought too. Like it was going to be this funny thing, like "Help me, I'm stuck, I can't go."
That's what I was thinking. But I like that they're not going that route and that he was.
They could have totally made it silly, and it would have worked. But like I said,
I'm glad they're doing it this way. Yeah. So this is going to be very interesting.
I'm loving this season of Arrow.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's
Arrow just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's it for this review. If we missed anything, something you think we should have talked about that we didn't, let us know down in the comments and we can discuss it down there. Also, if you enjoyed this review, and we certainly hope you did, let us know by clicking the like button and subscribe for more reviews.
And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.